congratulations, you must be pretty happy to get a contract.
Yeah, exactly. Stoked to be here, and it's been a long road. Played in New Zealand for a few years, and jumped at the opportunity to come over here for a bit of a trial, and to see all the hard work pay off. It's pretty good and pretty satisfying.
I guess step one completed. I guess the next step is convincing Steve to give you the 10 jersey, I guess, going into the season.
Yeah, exactly. I just got to put my best foot forward and train hard and earn the boys' respect first and foremost, and then just hope for the best. Just looking forward to a good pre-season.
Is that sort of I guess that's the obvious goal now?
Yeah, obviously just to train hard like everything that's come to me. Just train hard and then hope for the best.
And Steve, is that sort of is Wharenui in the running?
Yeah, it certainly is. So I didn't get an opportunity really to see him pre-Christmas. I saw some of the training footage and obviously watched some of his ITM Cups, or might have 10 Cup games, and was pretty impressed with that. He's got a good skill set, and my first real contact with him was a couple of days ago, and you can certainly tell that he's played in a high-level competition before at 10, so his organisation out on the field is top-notch. He certainly stands out there in terms of the 10s that we've got here at the moment. His organisation is better than the other guys. His understanding of the game plan and the way that we want to play is already there, and he's got a great skill set, both with ball in hand and defensively. So, yeah, there's obviously a few games to go before the start of the season, but he's certainly put his best foot forward so far, and at this stage probably front runner for that position.
And I guess that's sort of one of the spots everyone's looking at with how you're going to fill that role with I guess obviously Maddie moving on and then Christian's illness. So who are the other sort of guys I guess in the mix?
Well, we have the option of Kyle playing 10, but we've also got young Nick Juice coming through. Aidan To'o's played 10 in the past as well, so he might give us a little bit of coverage there. And then the dream is not over for Christian yet. He's past the halfway stage, so he sort of has to be monitored for 100 days post the transplant. And I'm pretty optimistic. I certainly would like to see him back at some stage this year, but the odds are probably against that. So I'm just living in a bit of a dream world there at the moment. So I think between those four guys, with the possibility of Christian, I think there's good depth, and there's certainly enough there for us to play the way we want to play.
And have you spoken to Christian recently?
Yeah, I have. He's going well.
I guess all on track, hopefully, I guess.
Yeah, everything's on track. So he's had a couple of infections that he had to go back into hospital with, but that's sort of standard. He's been pretty good for the last couple of weeks. So, you sort of, in those situations, you play it day by day.
Steve, do you feel more comfortable now that you've been here with Christmas break to call some plays and boss the boys around?
Yeah, most definitely. It was a bit of a shock meeting a few of the Wallabies boys, but as soon as I met them, they welcomed me into the group, and definitely going out into training and trying to stamp my mark as a 10, trying to put my hand up. But we talk a lot about constructive criticism in our group, and always looking to make each other better. So the boys have helped me in that, and I've been around for a few years, but it's been good. So.
And where do you say you want to improve probably the most of your game?
There's definitely a lot of areas. I'm always looking to improve just my defensive game and a lot of kicking, but I enjoy the attack side of things, so I'll look to improve that also.
I guess you've got a pretty good person to look to.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty lucky.
Was that, I guess, did you sort of pinch yourself that I guess you got the chance to work with Bernie now?
Yeah, for sure.
We haven't really done much together yet.
Not too much. Yeah, like he said, I literally just met him last week, and I've obviously watched him growing up and things like that, and I'm pretty lucky that he is a 10, and he can definitely show me a few pointers and where I'm going wrong and what I can work on. So pretty happy with that.
I think the good thing, Futz has played at a high level before, so he knows how to run a team. He's been doing that all pre-Christmas period, and it was no different when the Wallaby boys came back. It was no different, so he was still confident and vocal and authoritative out there on the field, which is exactly what we want. So I think he's got a good background in terms of how to play 10. There'll be just a few pointers as to how we want him to play 10 that'll be slightly different.
What's how are you settling into the culture and the environment at the Brumbies? How are you finding it?
Yeah, like 5 weeks ago when I came in, day one I knew just what a great culture the Brumbies have, and I think the second day here we had a bit of team bonding, and 3 or 4 of the older boys offered to pick me up and for me to go along with them, so that just speaks volumes about what kind of group they have here. Often we have team functions where we just go over to a friend's house and have a barbecue, have a meal to eat. So we're a tight-knit group, and they just welcome everyone in. That's new, so it's been awesome.
And Steve, I guess 10 sort of one of a couple of positions that maybe outsiders are sort of wondering what you're going to do with it. Is the squad team sort of starting to take shape, I guess, ahead of that?
Oh, yeah, certainly is. I think there was a number of guys pre-Christmas who put their hand up. Some of the young guys and some of the guys who've been here for a while but haven't had the opportunity. They certainly put their hand up pre-Christmas to take on one of these starting spots in the first game. We got a fairly good indication out of that pre-Christmas block, plus a bit of knowledge of the guys who've been here for a while as to who we're going to go with in the first game. But we always want to have a look at the trial games and see how the boys are gelling together before we come up with that final combination.
Who are you looking for in the hookers? Probably one spot with Squeaks partner that everyone's sort of looking at.
Yeah, we're kind of looking at either Robbie Abel, Josh Manray or Sayafanga. We'll make a decision down the track.
Did any of those put their hand up?
They all have actually. They've all trained really well. Sayer's had one of his best off seasons. I think he's really enjoyed coming back down, and like Futz was saying, that the group is really tight and was really tight pre-Christmas, and I think he really enjoyed that atmosphere. Bongo's just a team man through and through, so he'll train as hard as he can every single time, and Robbie Abel certainly improved his skill from when I last saw him out the back of Super Rugby last year. So they're all putting their hand up. They know there's a great opportunity there for one of them, so they're all trying very hard to get there.
I guess obviously everyone wants to know who's going to replace David at open side flanker.
Yeah, good competition there as well. Yeah, a number of guys pre-Christmas trained really well. There's Jared Butler, there's Jordan Smiler, there's Tom Cusack, Rob Valentini. Yeah, there's a number of guys in that back row that can play any number of different positions there. I think Chris Alcock is probably the standout at this stage, though.
And Wharenui, who have you sort of been working with, or who do you expect to be 12 alongside you?
Oh man, there's great 12s here at the Brums. I've just met Kyle last week. Obviously, he just debuted for the Wallabies over the break, and he's an awesome guy. Relatively the same age as me, and I've also got Jordan Jackson Hope, who's been awesome. I trained a lot with him over the pre-Christmas break. So obviously it's up to Bernie here, but there's a lot of people putting their hands up.
And how does I guess an Australian system compare to the Kiwi one that you've been part of, I guess?
Mate, it's bloody hot, to be fair, but the Brumbies train extremely hard, and they're not one of the better teams in Australia for nothing, and they definitely put the work out on the training paddock and earn the fruits out on the field, so yeah.